Hello and welcome to the IBTimes Game preview of Alien Isolation. I'm Alfred Joyner and I'm joined here by Ben Skipper.
Hello.
Who's managed to have a go at the game. Who is this game made by?
This is Alien Isolation. It's made by Creative Assembly, who are usually better known for their real-time strategy games, the Total War series in particular. And it's published by Sega, who don't have the best of reputations with Alien fans at the moment, because last year they published Colonial Marines, which was a complete and utter disaster. Awful game, and people really wanted the IP to go elsewhere. But then Creative Assembly revealed Alien Isolation late last year, and it really riled people over because it focuses on the tone of the original film by Ridley Scott instead of the action-orientated sequel by James Cameron. And as you can see, it's very slow and it's very atmospheric, and in the game there's only a single alien stalking you throughout rather than loads of them jumping about all over the place. So you really get the feel of how dangerous this thing is and how deadly it is as well.
The story itself, is that inspired by the series? What character are we following?
You play as Amanda Ripley, who is
okay.
Ellen Ripley's daughter, Ellen Ripley being Sigourney Weaver in the original films, and it's set 15 years after the first film, and you're Amanda searching for her mother, and she eventually finds herself on a ship like the Nostromo with an alien on board that is wreaking havoc. So obviously it runs in the family, this kind of thing. Beyond that, we don't really know much more about the story, but when there's aliens running around trying to chase you, the story isn't much of a concern. You're just trying to survive.
So I mean, it's very different to some of the games Creative Assembly's made in the past. As a first-person shooter then, as a style, is there no gunplay involved? Is it purely just kind of stealth tactics, running and hiding?
Well, it's definitely focused more on the running and hiding aspect. There are guns, and that's something that this piece of gameplay introduces that wasn't in the original demo, because the original demo was just you and your motion tracker, which will be your most important piece of kit, as it can track the alien's movements. But you do have a revolver, but you don't really want to use it because any noise will attract the alien, and as soon as it gets you, it will kill you, because it cannot be killed. You cannot kill this alien. This is definitely about sneaking around, finding in the shadows, hiding under beds and gurneys and in lockers. The demo was split into 3 different sections basically, and the first was very similar to the gameplay demo they showed off when the game was first announced last year. So you get lots of the same assets, you just get you and the motion tracker. But the second part introduces human enemies. These are survivors on the ship with you. They're quite trigger happy, so for the most part you'll want to avoid them like you avoid the alien. But having 3 or 4 different things to keep track of on the motion tracker mixes gameplay up quite a bit, because in the first half of the game you become aware that if you just crouch and move quite slowly, it won't bother you at all, and that kind of kills the tension a little bit. But in the second part of the game, when you're juggling all these aspects, you start to see what can happen. And that kept on going like that, and that eventually introduced the crafting system, which is a key part of the game, wherein you can use ethanol, batteries, explosives, blades, gels, scrap, adhesive, lots of things to create ammo for your revolver, medkits, flares, and noisemakers. And I only used the noisemaker once to draw the alien out and have it attack humans that are in my way. Obviously that comes with its risks, but it paid off in this instance in particular. And eventually you find this area with a terminal and an android, which is obviously, anyone who's seen the Alien films know androids try to kill you. And so you get this boss fight, which is reasonably well handled. It seems a bit almost a cop-out, because when you get down to it and into the fight, you don't want to use your weapons because you're conditioned to think that using them will attract the alien. These little elements like the inclusion of humans and the inclusion of androids like that it's a balancing act that Creative Assembly really need to get right.
So from what you've played so far, it's certainly scary and it certainly has a lot of influences from the Alien film franchise, but you feel that there's a few elements to it that seem a bit contrived.
What I played was really good. The tension is constant throughout, and then you got the final part of the game is after you've hacked the terminal, defeated the android, hacked the terminal, you unlock the door, and then you're faced with this basically a really long corridor. The alien is now in the environment with you, and when the alien is actually in the same room as you, the tension is unbearable. But there's other parts that feel a bit almost like padding. It's really down to what Creative Assembly do with the with the ideas they have, because the ideas they have are good. But if they overuse them, it won't be a good experience.
If the studio can maintain that level of horror and keep on tinkering away, when it finally gets released, and when will that be?
That is October 7th.
October 7th, yeah. It could be a really, really exciting horror game, and finally a game probably worthy of the film franchise.
Yeah, there really hasn't been a good Alien game for quite some time.
Well, for more IBTimes Games coverage, go to our website, ibtimes.co.uk.